Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. I thought I'd talk to you about the covert narcissist. I think I'm going to name this to beware of the covert narcissist. Um, Unfortunately, I attracted a covert narcissist, and I want to tell you, in the beginning, I had no idea. Well, let me take that back. Because he did show some signs of attempted control in the beginning. And this is something that you can be aware of. And I'm only sharing my stories because I'm hoping that it can help some of you not make the same mistakes that I did. Um, and the other thing I wanted to say is this channel is not a religious channel. I am a spiritualist, and practically everything that I say is going to be from the spiritual end. Uh, and I will say something about religion because I was raised Christian. My dad's a bishop in the church with a very large following, so I know about the people in and the administrative end and the whole kit and caboodle. So, anywho, let's get on with the covert narcissist. And there are plenty of them everywhere. Believe me, they are everywhere. And the way that they approach you is like any narcissist with the love bombing. That's the way they get you. I mean, if their love language is gift giving, that's what you'll get. They will flood you with that, whatever their love language is. They will flood you with it, and you'll be like in la la land. That this man cares for me this much to be doing all these wonderful things for me, you know. Uh, my covert narcissist would even go shopping with me, and men, most men don't particularly like to go shopping with a woman. I mean, it hasn't been my experience that men like to go shopping with a woman, but he did, and I liked it. I don't, but the control came in when he wanted to choose my clothes for me. No, that wasn't ever going to work. No, in the beginning, I just went along with it. And I'm gonna tell you something. Those things are still hanging in my closet today. I never wore them. It's not my taste. You'll find yourself doing things with a narcissist that you wouldn't ordinarily do because you want the relationship to go well. You want to see how far it can go. And women, if you've taken any time with this dude, then you must like him. So naturally you'll want it to work. All right? And he is betting on that. You see? Now, I'm going to give you my take on the narcissist period, the whole narcissist persona. And I'm not going to give you the clinical end, I'm going to give you the spiritual end. I believe that narcissism is an energy, it's an entity that enters people. And it's a low vibrational energy. And to put it in terms that you would understand, evil. It's an evil entity that attaches itself to people. Now, I don't believe that this entity automatically just attaches to, but if you are living your life in a low vibration, which means that you can tell. Just look around at your life. Is it full of misery? Is it fighting? Is it arguing? Is it just unhappiness everywhere? That's pretty low vibrational, and your intent should be to get to ascend to a higher level where life is much easier and happier and more fulfilling. Okay, so now, if you are in a low vibration, these low vibrational entities will come in contact with you, and it's really up to you to accept it or reject it. Okay, well, I accepted it. This covert narcissist, this energy came to me, and I did accept it. You know, I was overwhelmed by the attention, the gifts, the love, everything. I was just overwhelmed. And they make it in the beginning. It's like you're thinking, this is too good to be true. You know? And plus, I mean, if this, now remember, it's an entity. So the entity knows what your desires are. Spiritual entities are very intelligent. They're not what you see on TV, these, you know, it's not that at all. But these are entities that live in a low vibration, you see, but they're very intelligent. So they attach to you, but you have to be in the same energy. I always say to accept it. Okay? Now, the covert narcissist went through some sort of trauma early in life, very early in life. I would say maybe before adolescence, young, this trauma happened. And the kid didn't know how to handle it. And after a while, when it kept happening, I guess they just kind of accepted, and then wanted to go on and do it to other people. The entity that was there then had already attached. So now we have this covert narcissist who doesn't want people to know the true self, which is evil. Now, I'm going to use these terms evil because I want you to understand, and I'll try to be a little more lenient with the spiritual terms that you might not understand. So, now this person has had this entity attached to them while they were growing up. It didn't just come out of nowhere. It happened when they were a kid. Growing up, this entity. Now this entity can sense other entities, positive entities and negative entities. Okay? So now the entity spots somebody who might be appropriate for this covert narcissist. So but remember, the person that you see is wearing a mask. It's not the true self. That's why it's covert, it's undercover. You see? So now you're overwhelmed by this wonderful person that does all these things for you and takes you places, and whatever you like in love, they know to do. And they do a lot of it. Okay. So once they figure that they have you, and remember, doing all of this love bombing, they sneak in some little control things just to see if you're going to take it, if you're going to go with it. You see, because their objective is to have you and control you totally. Totally. You see, they will try to alienate you from your family and friends. And they do that relatively early in your relationship. They'll just put little things in your ear, you know, like that. And if you are an ambitious person and you're trying to better yourself and do other things, they'll be in your ear about that. Because they kind of like you to stay where they can control you. So if you have other ventures that they're not involved in, they're going to try to shut that down right away. They're going to try to shut that down. You see? Because they are internally jealous of you. Of you. And you'll probably think, jealous of what? Of what? The entity is jealous because you're still standing. They want to destroy you. Now I know you probably think this is ridiculous. But believe me, they don't love you. They never loved you. And number one, they are incapable of loving you. And if you pay very close attention to a covert narcissist, and I'm only talking about the covert one because that's the one that I have experience with. I don't know about the Grandiose, and you know, you can spot them, but I don't know them personally. But the covert narcissist, he will be in your ear working on your, chipping away at your self-esteem. It's a gradual process, chipping away at your self-esteem. You know, for instance, let me give you for instance. All right. You're getting ready to go out, okay? He comes out in his whatever, and fine. Us women, you know, we go through the whole special whatever, you see? And then when you come out and you're, you know, and he's, on his phones and not even looking at you, and you'll say, well, all right, you ready to go? How do I look? And he'll say something like, okay, but why did you wear those shoes? Yes, I call those backhanded compliments. Very backhanded. And that's what you'll be getting. See, it's a slow process from the person that you fell in love with to the true self. The true self is somebody you don't even recognize. He is envious. He is mean. He holds grudges. And he's always on the payback and to take advantage of. Because their ultimate goal is to destroy you, you see? Destroy you. And when they finally get ready to discard you, the plan is that you are dead. They have destroyed you financially, emotionally. You see, you are in bits. You can't function. You see? This is their objective. You don't want to fall into the hands of a narcissist, period. But I'm telling you about the covert narcissist, the one that you don't see coming. You don't see him coming because he's like the nice guy. Many times he's the church guy, you see. And he's probably got a very high office in the church. He's not just, you understand? So that makes you more trusting if you thinking if he has this kind of, you know, commitment and belief. You know, how bad can it be? Believe me. In the church you will find all kind of, again, I'm going to use the word that you know, demons. All kinds of demons in the church. Sitting on the pulpit. Sitting in the pews. Sitting in the choir. Okay? So now the covert narcissist. Once he has you, and he knows that you love him. Now he flips just like that. Just like that. He hardly ever speaks to you anymore. He's always in his phone. You know, if you're living together, he'll come home at a decent hour, but you just have a feeling something's going on. Number one, you don't even know who this person is. You say something to him, and it's very short answers, short, angry answers, and he won't hesitate to try to insult you for no reason, you see? And if you're not that type of person that likes to fight or have trouble or all of that all the time, he enjoys getting these emotions out of you because he's a narcissist. Remember, this is an entity that survives on supply, on energy supply. You see? So he wants your supply if it's happy, if it's sad, and if he can break you down to tears, man, he eats that up. And he'll just look at you with no emotion and maybe a little smirk. A little smirk. You'll see it if you look close. A little smirk in the corner of his mouth. See? It's the entity. And they say something about, the stare. His stare was shifty. I mean, if you look at him straight in the eyes went like this constantly. And I couldn't figure out, I even asked him about it once. He wasn't even aware it was happening. But now I know, since I was not into spirituality when I was with him. This came after. Through my healing of the experience, I went into spirituality to find out what this was all about, because I knew it had to be bigger than what I'm reading in books and hearing people say. It had to be more than that. I want to say some more about this entity. When I looked in his eyes, the pupils would go like this all the time, and he wasn't aware of that. But now I realized I was looking in the face of the entity through his eyes, because we all know that the eyes are the windows to the soul. I was looking in the face of the entity. So just know, I that's the stare that I got whenever he looked, and it always. It was, and the closer I looked, it was right there in my face. So, something else to be aware of. So, the entity wants energy. And the more depraved the energy comes from, the more powerful the entity. You see? So anger, they seem to love that. And if he can break you down to nothing, they love your emotions from that. Your tears, your everything. You see? It's an entity that is attached to these people that they need to get rid of. If they can. I I don't have the answers to how to get rid of it, but if anybody out there knows how to get rid of them, please leave me a comment, because this entity is running rampant in this society today. It's running rampant. And it has a lot to do with the these DL men. These DL men is the same entity going for energy, depraved energy. People, you need to open your eyes, and women, I'm hoping that you're understanding what I'm trying to tell you about this, because this is real. It's real. No joke. No joke. I found out that my covert narcissist had a long line of women before me that he had left in shambles, meaning financial shambles, emotional shambles, whatever, physical shambles, left them, had a whole line of women that he had left for dead. This was a pattern of the narcissist. Now some of the narcissists, I've known some grandiose narcissists, they stay with their companions, I'll say their mates or whatever. They stay with them a lot of times if they have some sort of status or whatever, it's better for the public to see that they have a mate that they've stayed with for 50 years or whatever. But the poor mate has been tortured until, and many of them just submit. I've seen a lot of women, they just submit, and I guess they don't hear it anymore, but see, it affects your psyche, whether you feel like it's registering, it's messing with your psyche here, because this entity is so powerful. You just think that you're dealing with the person. No. These covert narcissists came from trauma in their early childhood. And I think, number one, if they would face that trauma and try to work on it and heal from the actual trauma, that would be step one to healing. That would be step one. Yes, and stop letting the entity guide you. Because everybody has that intuition that tells them you shouldn't be doing this. And the covert narcissist knows that. That's why he's covert. Because he knows that he shouldn't be his true self. He's ashamed of it. So he go around, he's angry, he's miserable, his life is gone to the pits, and he has no recourse. But ladies, don't let this person drag you down. This is the point I'm trying to make. Ladies, keep your power. Keep your power. If you go out with a man and he starts off trying to shush you or tell you what to do, or you don't do this, girl, get up and go. Don't even tolerate that bullshit. In the beginning, don't tolerate it. Don't tolerate it. You don't need his ass. You can do anything you want to do and have anything you want to. So what do you need his ass for? You don't need to put up with it. You don't need to put up with it. You see? When I was with my covert narcissist, like I said, I wasn't spiritual. I was just trying to figure it out. You see? But the information came as I searched for answers in spirituality. That's when the true answers came to what I was dealing with. So, anywho, I just want you to beware. And I hope that I was clear on how to notice them right off. Oh, and the other thing about them, they're sexual. So they use you for sex because it's energy. Okay? It's any kind of energy that, you understand? That's what they like. But they'll discard that, they'll withhold that sex because they are having sex with a number of people, not just you. Whether you're married, partnered up, living up, whatever. He's having sex with a number of people, whether man or woman. So, and you don't know this, you're just blind to these things. Because who wants to believe that? Nobody. Nobody wants to believe that. But it's true. So, ladies, keep your power. And if you've given away, take it back. And be strong and be aware of the covert narcissist. Hope to see you next time.